So this is how a mixing project looks like. Now whatever tracks I did during the recording stage, I will export all of that, not with the reverb, okay? Turn off all the reverb or any plugin for that matter. Put all the volume to 0 and just export that. That is what you want. So once you export that, import that into this new project or the project where you had previously composed and all those things. So this is my project. So if you see here, all these are the different tracks that I recorded on another project and I put them over here and then I proceed to mix this. So in this case, let's do command and comma and look at the buffer size. This buffer size is not what I kept, okay? 128 is what you keep while recording because you need your playback quickly. When you come to the production stage, that is either mixing or mastering, make sure you change your buffer size to a higher value. If you don't do this, you're going to get a lot of system overload issues. I always do it in 1024 because it doesn't matter if you get a very small latency while you are mixing, okay, no problem at all, and buffer size doesn't affect the quality. It is only for playback, so it doesn't matter even if you get a small latency. That is going to help you basically to not have that system overload issues coming often. So this is how my tracks look like. I have drums and then what are these? So these are my harmony. I've got bass, chords, all those things, and I can open them up and I can process them individually. I've got no problem. Another setting, you need to make sure that this is in 24 and then go to file, go to project settings, audio, and your sample rate is in the sample rate you set for the recording stage also. So these are the things that I do. Now why do I have a separate project for mixing? Same issue. You don't want the same playback as you had in the recording stage. In that you want it sooner. In this it's okay to have some delay. And you've got the MIDI information over here if you want to work on the MIDI and process that in a much better manner. You have more flexibility. Your project is a little bit more cleaner and it's dedicated for mixing. So obviously it's going to be much more cleaner and you have much more better focus. Let's say in the middle of mixing you feel like you want to add a little bit more vocal layer, so you're going to record them again. If you started mixing in that same project, then it's going to be a headache for you. You're going to again export everything and then put it on a new project, all those things. Instead, if you didn't do that, you dedicate a particular project for recording alone, then it's going to be easy, right? You're just going to open that up, finish recording, export, put it in the mixing project. So your work is going to be clean. You're going to feel organized and in turn you'll want to work. So that is the reason why. This is how any mixing project of mine will look like. Let's go over to mastering. Now the reason you want to mix in a particular project also is because you want to rectify all the individual tracks and you basically want them to sound nice. Mastering is where you rectify the whole thing together, the whole track together, and you basically shape them well, bring them to a volume suitable for streaming and all those things. In mixing, you are rectifying individually an individual group of instruments. The mastering project is where you treat the track as a whole. You just deal with one project. So this is how my mastering project will look like. How I got just one track is basically I bounced the mixing project, the whole mixing project, by properly leaving a little bit of headroom of -6 dB. So once I finish my mixing project, I will just export the whole project as one wave file. And then I put them on a new Logic project to master. Mastering is to fix the track as a whole. So I'm going to maybe put an EQ and slightly fix some frequencies. I'm going to add some saturation to the overall track. I'm going to increase the stereo width of the whole track. I'm going to add a limiter in order to increase the overall volume suitable for streaming services and all those things. Those are the processes involved for mastering. How can you do that in the mixing project? Yes, you have a method. One, in that stereo out channel, you can do all these things that I just said, because in stereo out, that is the place where all your tracks merge and come in. But you've already done multiple processing on your mixing project. Any mixing project, if you take mine, minimum I'll have like 80 tracks or 100 tracks. And that's like the very average number that I get for any project that I do. Because if you looked at the vocal tracks itself, I had like 10 tracks, 20 tracks. So imagine the other layers of instruments and all those stuff. So automatically you'll get a lot of tracks. Already there is a heavy processing going on in that project. Now on top of that, if you want to master it also and do all these heavy processing on the same project, Logic is not going to cooperate. Your laptop is not going to cooperate. Segregate your projects like this. So in mastering, Lots of things I do. Like for example, if there is some gain automations I need to do, I will do that. Like for example, there's this instrument solo and I want that to be in the same gain as the chorus, I do that. Now suppose I feel like, let's say the bass is too loud in this whole track. Do you think I can fix in the mastering project? I really can't. What I need to do is go back to my mixing project and fix the volume there, export it, bring it back here. When I click the letter H, can you see how many different versions I have? I'm already having 3. And the reason I do this first, and then I checked it through different speaker systems like car speaker, phone speaker, headphones, Bluetooth speaker and all that. And then there were some changes I needed to do. Most of them I had to do it in the mixing project. So I did that, exported that, brought it back here and did it. Then again exported back, and after this only I was satisfied. You need to be ready to make changes. You need to travel back to other projects to fix some stuff, and that is fine. Rather than having one confused, clumsy project where everything is happening, if you segregate it like this, your workflow will be smooth, it will be organized, you will not have overloading issues, and you can work with your projects in a much better manner. So this was a pretty intense video, but I really hope you were able to understand all these concepts and all these techniques that I use. Now these are not things that people taught me. These are things that I learned on my own or through YouTube tutorials, and then eventually got a confirmation from other producers. So if it has helped me, I'm sure somebody out there will be benefited through the process that I just spoke about. So this is how I work with my tracks, and this has made my work much more easier, much more organized. Do let me know in the comments if you want to follow this kind of procedure, or you have some other idea that you want to share to the community of producers. You can drop them in the comment and we can all grow as a community. Thank you so much for watching. Keep making music, and I'll see you guys in another video.